Welcome to the Ashes to Rubies podcast and live stream, where we are going to talk a little bit about recovery and somewhat something about life. Maybe. Do you have anything about life that you want to talk about?
Not off the top of
Not. Yeah, I'm struggling with a car issue, and I know it has no. You have nothing to do with this. Like you are not a partner in this. Not because you don't want to be, not because you've been left out, but you don't.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, you're not. You don't need to deal with cars as long as it runs and it's your chariot. But I'm trying to get rid of a car, and I put the word trade in there, like sell or trade. And there was like so many people that want to trade me cars, and they're like,
"You're gonna go from one junk pile to another."
I think
Just
so.
Sell it.
No, that is the feeling that I'm getting.
Just sell it.
Is that I'm making these lateral movements, and I'm just getting somebody else's problems. Like I got enough problems.
And you have to start from scratch, and you have to pay tax on their problem, and you have.
That's what I was thinking. No, like, don't when you do a trade on a vehicle, do you have to pay the taxes? But there's no money exchange.
Doesn't matter.
You still have to pay taxes, and then you have to get the safety. And if there's work to get the safety, yeah, it's not even worth it. These are my dilemmas. This is what this is. But they're like they're interesting deals.
Stop it.
But they're interesting deals. What if somebody said, I'll trade you for 2 motorcycles?
No.
That wouldn't be a trade. Have you lost your fascination with motorcycles?
Yeah, we're old and we're not getting motorcycles.
Really? You've been trying
to. We don't need motorcycles.
You've been trying to you've loved motorcycles from a childhood. But the scooter is good enough? Like that's okay. I'm just saying what ifs. There's always the what ifs. No what ifs. Hey guys, there's no what ifs on motorcycles. But what all right, we'll just get into our reading. It is February the 23rd. Thought for today. Besides our jobs, our families, our friends, and our sobriety, we have something else which many of us found through our 12-step program. And that is faith in a power greater than ourselves, which we can turn for help. Faith in that divine principle in the universe, which we call God, and which is on our side as long as we do the right thing. There have been many days in the past, if we had taken an inventory, we'd have found ourselves very much in the red. What's in the red? In debt. In debt. Yeah. Black. You want to be in the black.
Short.
Without sobriety, and therefore without jobs, families, friends, or faith in God. We now have these things because we are sober. Here's a question. Do I make one resolution every day of my life to stay sober? Question mark. Meditation for today. Love the busy life. Love the busy life. It is a joy-filled life. Take your fill of joy into the spring. Live outdoors whenever possible. Sun and air and nature's great healing forces. That inward joy changes poisoned blood into pure, healthy, life-giving flow. But never forget that the real healing of the spirit comes from within, from the close, loving contact of your spirit with God's spirit. Keep in close communion with God's spirit day by day. What do you think?
Good. What are you finding in there?
I find that without God, I have nothing. I'm not in the black. And so if I don't have God, then I don't have sobriety. And if I don't have sobriety, then what do I have? Nothing. No family, no house, no job, no nothing. No nothing. And especially for me, as somebody that went all in and now work in and for God in church setting and recovery setting. If I relapse, I would have none of that. Like I think some people can relapse and still have their jobs at wherever they work. I don't think I would have my job very long. So I would actually lose everything. So if I don't have God, I won't have sobriety. And if I don't have sobriety, then I don't have work. Do I have you? I could convince you for a little. No, I don't. I think you're too healthy now.
Do you think you're good now?
I think you would pack my bags and send them to the bar that I'd be at, and be like, "Here you go, bye." And no, I don't think you would do it out of vengeful. I don't think you would be vengeful. I think you have good boundaries that would help me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see in this is like, what is the right thing? Because it says do the right thing, and then that always makes me concerned of like, well, what do I have to do? What if I miss the right thing? What if I accidentally do the wrong thing? But the right thing is being in right relationship with God. So how do I do that? Well, I go through LifeLab. I go through the process of the 12 steps. I go through inventory and really looking at what is separating from what is making my relationship with God wrong. And that's the roots of fear. So getting that all out, putting it on paper and giving it to God. And so that is doing the right thing of just having my life focused on my relationship with God, being in the temple, being in the garden of Eden.
Yeah. I like how it's actually talking about gratitude. Love your busy life. It is a joyful life. Take your fill of joy in the spring. And it's really, I think it's talking to us about having gratitude and what are you grateful for?
That's another concept too of trading in the alcoholic life of I live life, but then I'm always thinking about alcohol. I'm planning alcohol. I'm withdrawing off alcohol. Alcohol is invaded all areas of my life all the time. If I'm not doing alcohol, then I'm thinking or being recovering from it. And then in the sober life, I think the tendency or the temptation is just to take it easy and relax.
Right.
But can I be busy in the recovery life of focusing on getting out and being active and being an active member of recovery and helping others through and getting them connected to God and being in the fellowship and all that stuff? That's a busy life.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it as very busy? When you took your year off, you were busy. You're not busy in a bad way, but you were involved in doing all this stuff, and then you realize oh, I can't really go back to work.
I don't have time.
I don't have time. I don't have time for that work stuff. And now your work is that, and so I think that's really cool. So you're very busy. We get to be busy in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. I think we can be busy in an unhealthy way too. So do the right thing, and that's be in a relationship with God.
I prefer not to use the word busy. I have a full life.
Full. That's a good word. Here's our prayer for today. I pray that I may learn to live the abundant life. Abundant. Full. Not busy. I pray that I may enjoy close contact with God this day and be glad in it. May you be glad in your closeness with God. And if you don't have closeness, just reach out and maybe we can help you out. Keep the peace, be of good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow.